One of the key components of the law of consistency is value the process. One of the best things you can do for yourself as a learner is to cultivate the ability to value and enjoy the process of growth. It's going to take a long time, so you might as well enjoy the journey. You can visualize tomorrow using it as motivation to grow, but if you want to actually grow, your focus needs to be on today. If you value today and find a way to enjoy it, you will invest in today. And the small steps you take today will lead to bigger steps you take someday. The third question we need to ask ourselves, do you know why you want to keep improving? Knowing what to improve and how to improve are critical to consistency in personal growth, but so is knowing why. The how and what will only take you so far. The why is what keeps you motivated long after that first rush of energy and enthusiasm wears out. It can carry you through when willpower isn't enough. Think of it as why power. Having a strong why will keep you going when the discipline of learning becomes difficult, discouraging, or tedious. If your growth is connected to your values, dreams, and purpose, you know why you're doing it, and you will be more likely to follow through. If you're doing this because someone else wants you to, or because others think that you should, but you don't know why you're actually doing it, it's just a matter of time before you quit. For myself, I know exactly what I want out of life, and that gets me very excited. I also know from past experience that following the average techniques you maybe learn from high school friends, maybe even what you learn in college, it's not going to produce the results you want. The why for success is very strong. And since my success hinges on my getting better, I'm very passionate and excited when investing time into myself daily. If you have the motivation you need, discipline's no problem. If you lack motivation, discipline is always a problem. You have to give yourself more and bigger whys so you can keep wanting to put effort into your growth patterns. The greater number of reasons you give yourself to grow, the more likely you will be to follow through. Once you learn to quit, it becomes a habit. When you make the right choices, however small, and do it consistently over time, it can make a huge difference in your life. If you remember why you're making those choices, it becomes easier. The fourth question is, do you know when you're supposed to improve? Life lived tomorrow will always be just a day away from being realized. So you need to get started if you haven't yet. More important, you need today to be every day. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Hear it again. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Rewind one more time. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. That means developing great habits. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments, and that bridge must be crossed every day. Over time, that daily crossing becomes a habit. And ultimately, people do not decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. A bad habit never goes away by itself. It always an undo-it-yourself project. Whatever you're willing to change doing today in order to change what you would be doing tomorrow, that's what we need to work on changing today. For the average person, there's always an excuse. And most times it's never them that's the reason they can't get started. It's always something or someone else but them. They find it easier to blame outside situations to avoid any change or the simple fear of the unknown. To be successful, we must learn to become consistent. You must figure out what works for you. Instead of being goal conscious, Focus on being growth conscious. The great composer does not set to work because he's inspired, but becomes inspired because he's working. Anyone who does what he must only when he is in the mood or when it's convenient isn't going to be successful. If you develop the habits of success, you'll make success a habit. And never forget, motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you growing. That's the law of consistency.